So I've been joined by Ahmed Adly from Egypt, and well, you've just played a really exciting game.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's excellent. So, well, we will talk about your tournament standing in a second, but you're playing against Stany from India, who's rated 24.95. Yeah. So you're ELO favourite in this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
But actually, I have been quite sick last 3 days. So
okay, I'm moving away.
I hope not. So I'm getting better now, thank God. But today, I wasn't really sure that I'm in shape. Should I play something like
solid
or something? But decided to play something crazy. Let's have fun.
Let's have a look. So you had white. And it looks to me like, I never know what to call this, a Neo Grunfeld or a
something like that,
Grunfeld, or anyway, a very, very well-known line, and E3.
Okay, till here have been played many times, actually.
Of course, Rook E8. Okay, now wait a second.
Yeah, exactly.
Because in this position, I've seen lots of moves. I played lots of moves myself.
Yeah.
I've seen Queen E2, Queen C2.
These three, Rook E1 mainly, actually, and hundreds of lines, but actually nothing proved much for white, except Rook E1 proved something, like some advantage, but still not so sure. Till lately, they started to find out something about knight h4.
Okay, well, if you were to ask me what move you played here, it would take me a long time before I
to find knight h4.
Okay, I must admit I'm not up to date on the theory. So you say this has been played a lot?
Not a lot, but was played for a few games lately. Actually, I prepared it in 2015. And played it only once in non-rated games, so I don't think it was on the database. So when I prepared it in 2015, it was for African Championship, and I thought, we can try it. It's quite hard for black to find all the good moves, especially the move looks very strange, actually.
Okay, well, exactly. So please explain this to me. You know, in every country there's a kind of expression, knights on the rim are dim.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with you.
Am Rande bringt Kummer und Schande. So, for example, what do you say in Arabic?
I don't know.
Is there an expression?
Say, but we always say that. It looks like dumb or stupid. I mean.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's the point of this move?
Okay. The main point is the only threat for black is e5. Normally. The problem is that when you play normal moves, the black doesn't have to play e5 because sometimes they go for f5 or bishop d7, something like that, waiting, you're not threatening anything with white.
Okay.
So now, with knight h4, you are threatening to play f4 directly to stop their a5. And without e5, black will not have much space later on. So you're forcing him to go directly for the e5. Otherwise, with all the other lines, after f4, white is usually very okay. Okay,
so therefore, as you say, he played e5.
Yeah.
But, I'm still worried about the knight.
Yeah, me too. When we started analyzing this, believe me, I was very worried, come on, to this knight it looks very stupid. And even with g6 it looks more stupid that you don't have g6 or f5 squares. So you have completely no future. But I found some amazing ideas, actually. You'll see that this knight did something great in the game. Okay,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
so, alright, so now he's got a knight on the rim.
Knight f5,
so everyone's...
but this is very usual for this line. They always played with the idea knight c4 and then knight d6 to do the blockade or to support c6 after. So rook b1. Rook b1 is always threatening something like f4, b4, and always getting ready to move the b pawn without this taking risk of the open diagonal h8, a1.
Yeah. Okay. So now
now there's many lines actually, but e4 was played only once.
Okay.
Before.
My first thought here with black would be to correct the position of the knight just to play here. So what might happen in this case?
Okay, this would go like the normal ideas for white with b3, e4, and then e4 or f4 maybe sometimes, e4, f4, bishop a3, and you go very normal, and you have enough space, and as long as he doesn't play c6, white should be very fine with enough space.
Okay, and I guess it doesn't matter too much about this.
And you have time to move it back now.
Okay, interesting. All right, I'm learning something about this variation.
It's quite complicated variation, I believe, yeah.
Okay, so he played e4, which obviously just blows the position.
Yeah, exactly. e4 actually is very let's say anyone with black who plays this line would be very interested to see e4 playing.
Right.
Because, it looks very normal for this line, because when you take with the knight e4, there is always the g5, you are winning a piece. Mm-hmm. And then, and if you don't take, then I'm threatening to play f5 or bishop takes e3 and take on d5.
Okay, so it's a forcing move, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
this was the preparation. Knight take e4, and here was some line with knight d5. I had to prepare. It's quite long time, and it's very tough actually to prepare it.
Knight d5.
Yeah, knight d5, and after queen f4, you have to be ready with. If you are not prepared, really, it's very hard to find moves with black in this position.
So hitting the knight, maybe rook d1.
Yeah, exactly.
Here. Okay, so very tricky.
Yes. So this was very tricky position. So he decided to win the piece.
Yeah. So again, very forcing. So if the knight retreats, then of course
he just takes. Yeah.
So you took
knight takes g5, queen takes g5, and now e4. E4 is a novelty move actually. This game was played with Li Chao, I think, with white. Right. He played instead of e4 b3. Looks with the same idea, but for engines thought that e4 starting with e4 makes more sense.
Okay, so let's see. Let me count the pawns, because this is the way I work.
Okay.
So you have 2 pawns for a knight.
Yes.
But you have a beautiful pawn center.
And they have a serious problem now. You know what? This knight on h4 is very strong.
Okay, it's about to find the dream square.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And the problem is that this knight on f5 is very bad now. After b3, the next move, now any queen d2 or bishop d2, he will have to lose the knight on f5. So he have to solve it. And if he solve it with knight d7, now knight f5 will go to our dream.
Aha. Okay, let's just see that. So b3, yes, if knight d7, so that means he can protect
with c6 or with b6, whatever. But then now knight f5.
Yeah.
You go to your dreams.
Absolutely. It's a dream for white, nightmare for black.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
you see, this knight became something now.
Yeah, it's the irony. Okay, so c6.
So c6, queen d2. Now I'm straightening his knight. Mm-hmm. If he goes knight d7, again knight f5 is very strong.
So he took,
sacrificing the piece, thinking that if I take, he takes on e4, and still the position is normal.
Okay, so in this case, material is
equal.
But
some advantage for white, I believe.
I would still prefer white.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
I
but
agree with you.
He's compromising, but you played for more.
Yes, I decided. No, I want your knights. I like it there, you know. Okay, now the only forced move, I thought he have to play knight d7 now. Otherwise, no other options. Otherwise, white is much better. And after knight f5, I don't know what would he do. Because, let's say, for example, an example, I was thinking on the board that bishop f6, knight d6, rook e7, and before you win the piece.
Okay, still winning because the square is covered.
Yeah, exactly, with this knight,
Okay, it feels to me as though in practical terms this is just too difficult for black because...
it's already too much plus for white.
There are so many loose points in black's position. The knight is loose, the king is loose in a sense as well.
I agree with you, yeah.
Okay, so in the game he played bishop g4.
Yeah, instead he decided to leave the piece and win an exchange instead.
Yeah.
Okay, but even with this exchange I believed, okay, white should be much better. Too many pieces to move and too many squares, weak squares. And this d-pawn is like really amazing for me.
Okay, so again, material situation is bishop and 2 pawns against a rook, but yeah, your pieces are just wonderful.
Yeah.
So okay, let's just see how the game panned out.
Bishop e5, bishop e3, and we can wait a moment.
Okay,
here.
he has a little bit of
He
stability.
blockaded it a little bit, but unfortunately this blockade is not for very long time, because after queen d7 I decided I found a very nice idea, knight f3, moving the bishop have to move, and now I decided, okay, he defends the d pawn, the buzz pawn, but he have another weakness. We can never forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, without g pawn, the h pawn is very weak and I can attack it. So he played knight f5. Can we go a bit slower?
Yeah,
okay. So knight f5, queen g4. Now I'm threatening something like bishop h6.
Oh, beautiful.
And
pins.
Yeah, exactly. Working for the pins, and bishop h3 also is threatened. So black has to do something. He played h5, but now okay, I'm enough with these weaknesses. It's very good. I can take and still be better, but queen h3 is very nice. Like, keep the pin. He had to play rook d8 to protect his queen, and bishop g4, threatening the rook. Sorry, bishop g5. I mean, f6 was forced, and then bishop f4 again. Like, he cannot move. Keep him.
So it's getting worse though, because of course now his king is exposed here, and
after d6, if you move your knight, bishop d5 is coming, and queen h5 is coming now, and so on. He played knight e7, and it took me some time to take this decision. Actually, with queen take h5, it looks like a bit clear for white.
Also looks fantastic.
Yeah, he was planning to play something like knight d5, I think. Knight g5 you have, because knight e5 is blunder because of knight f4, threatening your queen and threatening the rook on d1.
Let's just show that.
Yeah.
Okay, so knight g5.
Knight g5 you have to play, and the difference is that knight f4 you can play queen h7 first.
And then you can take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But knight g5 you have to take the knight, and then after bishop take on d5, this should be enough for win.
Yeah.
I mean, if queen take, rook take, of course, rook e1 check, he have to move his rook, king, and rook take and bishop e3, this should be very enough actually. But okay, I found another idea which looks very nice, queen take d7. Rook take and bishop h3 using the white weaknesses, the white squares weaknesses.
Yeah.
He cannot take on d5 because of bishop e6, check. And if he goes rook d8, you can still play bishop e6 and then bishop c7, something like that. Should be very enough.
Okay, just total domination.
Yes,
and then
exactly.
boom.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah.
So he had to play f5.
Yes.
And now d6. I'm not threatening to take, but I'm threatening rook e1 now.
Okay, rook e1 and with the pin.
With the pin, and you win the piece. So he had to play rook f8 to protect the pawn and then be able to move his knight. Knight h4, protecting the g6 square and attacking the f5 square.
Yeah.
Again, the knight to h4. Okay. So he played rook f7, and one last beautiful move. King g2 threatening the knight, because I gonna queen. If he takes the rook, I'll take I'll queen. So he moved knight c8, and then after bishop f5, he had to resign, because now I'll take my exchange back with 3 pawns up.
Okay, what I'm going to take from this game is that whenever I'm stuck for a move, I'm always going to try knight h4.
Yeah.
It answers all the problems.
Your opponent will not understand. Don't worry.
And it always looks like a good move. Okay, that was a really smooth game. Yeah. Very nice indeed. So, okay, that brings you to 2.5 out of 3. So pretty, in spite of your cold, a pretty good start to
Yeah. Especially with my illness, it's great.
Okay, fantastic. So, Okay, you're from Egypt. Well, United Arab Emirates is very close by.
We are almost one family.
Yeah. Do you play a lot in the UAE?
Yeah, quite a lot. Yeah, and I have even here more friends than Egypt, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you always feel at home here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And they are great here, actually, and hospitality here is wonderful.
Good stuff. Listen, thank you for showing us the game.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thanks a lot. And see you.